What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cracker Season 3, Episode 44, I believe. Yeah, gotta keep that track. I know I put 2 videos up at once, but, well, not at once, but forgot to put it up yesterday. So I hope you enjoyed that one. But I got a better one this time, sort of. And that weird noise you might hear, that's Gizmo playing with his toy, his mouse thing. Like I said, he likes to cheat and hold the mouse down. Get it, Giz. Anyway, I went to the comic book show today, which I'm going to discuss. I don't know how I feel about it. It was kind of weird. Well, it wasn't weird, but I'm not going to say it was a waste of time. It was definitely cool, but the prices on the comics were just ridiculously high priced. Like, through the roof. I mean, on some ones that just shouldn't be as expensive as they were. Even when you talk the guy down, it wasn't even anywhere near what you think it would be. I mean, I know they got to make money and everything, and I know they expect people to talk them down, but Jesus. It was cool because, like I said, when I went there, it was in a hotel like lobby kind of thing, and they had a lot of great books, unbelievable books. One vendor guy or whatever it is, his entire back wall that he had was nothing but Amazing Spider-Man. He had Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy 15, and then he had Amazing Spider-Man #1 all the way through. Well, I think he had up to, I think it was 300 on the thing, and then he had everything after 300 in the bins, and his area was packed. People, I mean, the sick thing is, like, every single one of the vendors that were there, their Amazing Spider-Mans were like almost nothing because people were, well, not the prices, but everybody in the show was just going after Amazing Spider-Man. Nobody was touching anything else but Spider-Man. And my fiance and I, we walk in, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Excuse me, hiccups. She's like, oh, Jesus. She goes, well, what are you looking for? I was like, I'm looking for Spider-Man. So we looked, and like I said, every spot where there was a Spider-Man, or any kind of Spider-Man, but more Amazing Spider-Man, people were packed around that area, like going through, oh my God, I want that. And they weren't even caring about prices. Some of these people were paying ridiculous prices, which I'm going to show you. What I got 2 books. That's all I was able to get, because everything else was just way too high priced. And these books that I got, I even talking them down, it was worth it. I think I got a good deal, which I'll show you in a moment. But talk about the show. Like I said, this might be a long video, me yammering. Anyway, this is why it also pays to walk around, like look at something and then try to remember what you looked at, and then walk around and see if you can get a better price. Because this one spot I was in, the guy had mostly X-Men. Mostly, it was, he had Incredible Hulk 181. He wanted $7,000 for it. He had, well, the one book I'm going to show you that I got, he had it for, I think, $95, and I found it for way cheaper at another guy. But, like I said, I'll get into that. But just seriously, this one guy was next to me, and he kind of reeked a little bit, tall, thin guy. And he's talking to the guy. He's like, I've been up for 2 days, just waiting for the show. He's like, I've been thinking about it, and thinking about all the cool comics I can get. When I was like, wow, that's impressive, or crazy, whichever way you want to look at it, both sides of the coin. And this guy didn't even. I mean, I can see people don't, a lot of people don't negotiate things, but this guy didn't even. He must have spent at least. I was trying to add it up as I was going along. He had to have spent like $3 grand. Had to have. He's like, oh, how much is that Incredible Hulk 181? The guy's like, $7,000. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, that's a little much for me. And he's like, well, how much is that Uncanny X-Men 142? And the guy's like, oh, 95. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll take that. So he gets that. He's like, well, how much is that Uncanny X-Men 120? And the guy's like, oh, 75. He's like, yeah, I'll take that. How much is that Amazing Spider-Man 300? I want 200 for it. I'll take it. And I was like, oh my God. And the guy just kept going. I was like, holy shit. But anyway, I looked around, and a lot of the comics, like I said, they were amazing. The ones on the wall were just insane, but they were just way, way out of my league with price. And even 98% of the ones in the bins were out of my price. For example, this one book I bought on eBay. On eBay, I bought it for $2 and $2 shipping. $4. That's one of the. I'm not gonna say what it is because I'm gonna be a surprise, but that's one of the books that should be coming tomorrow. $4. I found it in one of the vendor guys. He wanted 25 for it. Next vendor wanted 30. Another guy wanted 15. I was like, oh my God! And I got $4 on eBay. This is why, as evil as eBay can be, this is one of the reasons why it's actually good, because you can go in there on eBay. If you're lucky enough to get it cheap. I'm not saying you always do, but I mean, like I said, the books I looked at, just out of curiosity, the books that I ordered on eBay. They were over 75% cheaper than any of these guys that were in there. So it was a little ridiculous. Even my fiance's like, she goes, "Is that really worth it?" I'm like, "That's not worth it." But like I said, the two books I got were actually worth it for the price I paid, even talking the guy down. Let me show you the goods before I get into the rant. But before I even show you the books, you're like, "Son of a bitch." I was doing a lot of unboxing in my storage area that I have that's outside of the apartment. Because yesterday, as if the good luck just doesn't keep on coming, um, my neighbor knocked on my door. Never really met her before, and she's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, why?" And she goes, "We heard this huge bang." Now, we didn't hear it because we have this giant fan going on because I turned it off. If you were to hear how loud this thing is, it's just, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I guess I'm just used to noise. But I have this fan going, we have the central air going, we have like 4 dehumidifiers going, and then another one of these fans is in the bedroom. On top of, we have a normal fan that we usually have on. So we didn't hear a thing. And I said, "Well," I was like, "No." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "We heard this huge bang, you sure you're alright? Was everything alright?" We're like, "Yeah, yeah." And I was like, "Where'd you hear it from?" And she's like, "On this corner of the, whatever." So I go out there and I check the storage area. All my boxes that I had in there collapsed on themselves. Because most of them, well, not even most of them, all of them were damaged in the move. The boxes were all severely compromised. And I'm like, it'll be alright. It's against the wall. I'm stacking the light ones with the light ones, the heavy ones, on the bottom. The heavy ones collapsed and all the ones went through. And I'm like, all my stuff is like against the door when you open it, so I couldn't even open it. And all my other stuff was like just like lying on the ground. I'm like, oh god. So I took a few boxes in, and the ones I took in actually had my certain old toys in them. I figured I'd show you them real fast, and then I'll get into the 2 comics that I got from the show. But I found my Voltron little witch with her cat. The Voltron Evil King. I think the cat's name was Hagar. I don't know, and the witch, I don't know. Can't remember what the name of the king was. I found my Voltron Yellow Lion, which is actually in really good shape. His cannon thing works, and his ears open, and the jaw opens. Can't always get that one, but yeah. And the legs move, and he's in great shape, other than his tail being gone. Yeah, his tail is gone. But hey, what the hell? I found this old Ghostbuster trap toy. See him? Opens up, and then you're supposed to push his tongue and it goes down. Found my old little scooter guy from Mask. Turns into a scooter, and then you can turn him into a regular robot. It was a kid's toy or some more vehicle, whatever. Found my clawful original He-Man. He's in great shape, other than the fact that he's missing his weapons and his armor. But yeah, cat hates him when I do that. I found an old bendable junkyard dog. Bend them all whichever way. A lot more. For wrestling, I found my Hulk Hogan, which he raises the roof. Found my $1 Million Man, which I do have his belt somewhere. I remember seeing it. Andre the Giant. He actually headbutts you. And last but not least, which I think I still have his Billy Club, but the Big Boss Man. I was like, oh man, I remember these. It sucks though, because I did have a lot more. I had the Macho Man, I had Ultimate Warrior, I had so many other ones. Bruce the Barber Beefcake. I found some old Turtles, Ninja Turtles, Casey Jones. I do have all his weapons somewhere. Same thing with Leatherhead. His mouth opens. I think this guy's name was Scumbug, which I have his weapon somewhere. Muckman, which I don't have any of his stuff. I think this guy was named Ground Chuck or something, because he's a bull. Can't remember. Long time ago. General Trag. I still have his weapons. Baxter Stockman. Wingnut, which I do have his wings, and I think I have Screw Loose. The Fugitoid, which his chest opens up. I do have his weapons too. I just keep them separated so I didn't lose them, which I don't know if that's smart or what. Gizmo, what are you doing? I think this guy's name was Ray Fillet. I have his stuff as well. This guy, I don't have any of his stuff anymore. The Rat King. Triceraton. He's missing his tail. And last but not least, this guy was one of my favorites. Mondo Gecko. And I have his skateboard. Yay. Alright, now to the comics. I think I got a pretty good price on these. Like I said, I talked the guy down. I figured, what the hell, I spotted them. This one is the one that, like I said, the guy was selling for $95 at one section. And what I got for this is Uncanny X-Men number 142. It's going to be one of those Holy Grail comics in the future because of the movie, which I have 141 and I've been wanting 142 for a while. I actually ripped off the tag. But what the hell, it's actually in Mylar, which is cool. This guy wanted 20 bucks for this. I got him down to 8, so that was pretty damn cool. Because I was looking at it, and at first glance, because Mylar makes everything better, you know, it's on the wall, and I'm like, oh my god, I was like, it's 142, and I was like, it's probably like, you know, $100 because the other got 195, and I show the $20 sticker, I'm like, oh my god, right? I'm like, can I take a look at that? He's like, yeah, no problem. So he hands it to me, I'm looking at it, I'm like, he's like, are you interested? I was like, very interested. I was like, but I was like, 20 bucks is a bit rough. I was like, because I really don't have that much money to spend, and I was like, it's a bit rough because you got a lot of dings in the book. And he's like, oh yeah, that's why I marked it down to 20. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, it's got a little nick on the top corner. I was like, it's got some bends, you know. I was like, the spine's pretty good. I was like, but it's got a little bit of a, you really can't see it too well. Like I said, you only see it up close. There's a little ding in Wolverine's underneath his arm, and there's a ding on the Sentinel's head. But other than that, it's actually in pretty good shape. So he's like, all right, I'll give it to you. He's like, I'm gonna kill myself for this, but I'm gonna give it to you for 10. He's like, and that's a great price. He's like, because you know this book is up and coming right now, and I'm like, yeah. And I was like, all right, let me think about it, and I put it down. And he's like, is there anything else you're interested? And I found this one for really cheap. Amazing Spider-Man number 252, the first appearance of the black suit. Yay! Finally own it. I have the reprint. I never had the original, and I also have the Marvel Tales 141, which is the other first appearance of the black suit. So I was like, alright, yeah, I'm looking at this, and this is another example of why you need to walk around. This one's actually in pretty good shape too. It just has a little ding in the spine over here and a little ding on Spider-Man's leg. But you can always upgrade down the line if I really wanted to. But this guy was selling this for 50, and the guy that was selling this book for 95 was selling this for 150. So already $100 off. So I'm looking at him like 50 bucks. I was like, And then he had another one that was 100 that was like, I guess, like a near mint. And I'm looking, I was like, how much is, I was like, can I take a look at the Amazing Spider-Man? He's like, the $50 one? I'm like, yes, please. And I'm looking at it, I was like, yeah. He's like, he's like, it's not 50 today. He's like, I forgot to pull the tag off. I was like, well, how much is it? He's like, it's 25. I'm like, oh. Now, I don't know if he really meant that or he was just trying to be like, all right, here you go. So I told him, I was like, I just don't have that kind of money because, you know, like I said, I know I'm broke, but I have more money. But I said to him, I was like, I just don't have the money. I was like, and he's like, all right, well, are you interested in the Uncanny X-Men 142 and 252 for Spider-Man? I'm like, yeah. I was like, they're two books I really wanted for a while. And he's like, are you a collector? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you don't sell them? I was like, no. I was like, I collect them. I was like, because I really like reading them. And I never read the trade paperback of this one. So I was like, I've never read it. And I was like, I have number 141. And I was like, I really would like to own 142. So he's like, all right. He's like, if you pay $25 for this, he's like, I'll give this one to you for cheaper. And I was like, I really can't afford the 253 for 25. I was like, I just don't have the money. And I think one guy accepted credit cards, and I was like, you know, I was like, I have a credit card. I was like, but I really don't have that much cash. So he's like, oh, well, what would, you know, what can I do to seal the deal here? I told him, I was like, the most I could pay for Amazing Spider-Man, I was like, is $10. And I was like, and the most I could pay for the X-Men is $8. And he's looking at me, he's like, whoa. And he walks away and he talks to his wife, and his wife's like, you know, she's talking back. And my fiance was over there listening, and he's like, she comes over before he comes over. She's like, oh, he's talking to his wife, and I was like, oh yeah, about what? And she said to him, sell it because you're not going to sell it for the price you're looking for. And she goes, and the kid really likes the books. So he comes back over. He's like, you got a deal. I was like, cool. So I got This for $8. Like I said, it's not in the best of shape. It's not in a mint condition. I would say it's probably very, very good plus, I guess, or or like just underneath the fine line because of that ding. But other than that, I still have the book. It's in Mylar too. It's a plus, and I finally got Amazing Spider-Man 252, which is in, I'm gonna say, fine shape as well. So not bad, not bad. $8 and $10. Very cool. So that was pretty much my experience. I did get a lot of uh, these like flyer things that every certain guy was giving out for, like, certain, like this guy's store, if anybody wants to know. It's Untamed Worlds. He put his little stamp on the back. Very nice guy. Let's see, untamedworlds.com. Let's see, 1524 1 Wards Road, number 5, Lynchburg, Virginia. So I guess if you're in Virginia, or go down there, check this guy out. I told him I'd give him a little bit of press. But so yeah, and then I got a lot of stuff like cards, business cards for stores. It's funny because you would think that the comic book stores that are actually in North Carolina would come down to this thing. I mean, it's not, it wasn't big at all, but it was probably as big as my apartment. Not gonna lie, and that's not that big. But there was nobody from North Carolina in there. Like none of the stores. It was all from Virginia, Florida. One guy was from Georgia, Nebraska, Ohio. But nothing North Carolina. It was weird. But it was an interesting thing. My fiance was kind of happy because it wasn't huge like a Comic-Con. She's like, oh, thank God, But even she was like looking through stuff. She's like, even some of the ones she's like, wow, these are really high priced. I'm like, yeah. But anyway, I did have fun. I got 2 books that I really wanted, so I'm very pleased with that. I knock off another one of my Amazing Spider-Man, and I got a really cool Uncanny X-Men, which I can't stop staring at. I'm like, oh my God, it's in Mylar. Yeah. But yeah, so that's cool. It was fun, but the prices, like I said, they were at least the one guy with this Untamed Worlds guy was reasonable, and he did knock a lot off the price, and he did work with me a lot. But the other people that were there were not willing to budge on anything, and their prices were just ridiculous. The guy had the guy with the Amazing Spider-Man's Amazing Spider-Man. I was looking at number 4, the first Sandman, and he wanted $7,100 for that. And he's like, oh, it's in mint condition. I'm like, it's really not. It was probably in fine condition, but it was no way near mint. But it was just, that was the only thing that was bad, is the prices were just way too high. But it was cool. I got out. I got 2 comics, like I said, that I liked. I love. They're actually really cool. I'm very happy. My fiance has cut me off, though. She's like, no more. You're done. That's it. She's like, we spent, way too much money, and, you spent all the money on your credit card. So, yeah, I do have a lot of books coming. I think I have like 8 books coming from eBay that I ordered. But to my defense, again, I'm trying to rebuild my credit. That's the excuse I'm going to go with. But I also did get really good prices on the comics, and that's the only reason. Like I said, I don't really want to use my credit card, but I want to use it to get the credit going, but I don't want to use it because I don't want to get over my head again. And I told my fiance, I even showed her, I'm like, oh, look, this is what I got it for with the shipping. Even with the shipping, it's a good price. I was like, compared to, this is what it's worth, this is $15 cheaper, or this is $30 cheaper. So she's like, all right, but you can't be doing it, that's it. She's like, I wanted to get you started, but, get a job and then do what you want. I'm like, yeah. And one other thing before I go, I was wrong. The shipping on the $199 that I got in the last video, it was only $2, $2 shipping, and $1 for the book, so that wasn't that bad. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. I'm actually trying to watch as many videos as I can. I kind of got trapped with a lot of things. I'm trying to, well, now that I have to get the storage thing all fixed, because I got to try to get the stuff out of there. Especially I want to have it redone for the winter. If I don't know how cold it gets down here in North Carolina, don't have a clue. But at least if I have everything packed better, and I never went through my stuff since we moved in, so I'm kind of doing that now. Even though I was kind of like, leave it on the boxes. We're gonna move out anyway. Who knows when I'm moving out now? So I might as well go through it, get the stuff that can be broken or damaged by weather, and bring that in. And like I said, we went to Lowe's and I bought a shitload of boxes. So that's gonna be fun. The cat's been biting on them. He's having a good time. But anyway, this video is long enough. Hopefully, I will make another video tomorrow. Uh, might as well make as many as I can as I get the books. I'll make them as I go, like always. Because chances are, once I'm done with the books, I don't even know what to make videos of anymore. Probably gonna go, maybe do reviews on certain books. Maybe try to show more toys as I go through them. But we'll see what happens. I'm always thinking anyway, and I always come up with ideas. And if anybody wants to know about stuff, let me know. You know how it works. And again, thanks for watching, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. And the comments. I try to get back to people as fast as I can, but sometimes I'm pretty slow with it. I admit it. Not gonna lie. But it's not the size of your man cave that matters. It's what you have in it, and what I have in it right now are these two kick-ass books. Catch you later, everyone.